Hi everyone. Okay, it's Dr. Del Vecchio. I want to start our lesson. Are those oils almost done being passed around? We're trying the lemongrass today. Lemongrass is my favorite. There's an oregano oil in there. If anybody wants it, I don't like it. You can take it. But all right, good. The oils are done. I know how much you guys love those. So we're going to talk about hemodialysis. Hemodialysis, remember, is the form of dialysis where the patient is actually going to go to the dialysis clinic about three times a week, and it's going to be there for 4 to 6 hours. So what kind of patient would go to hemodialysis? Anyone? I'm going to pick on someone that hasn't spoken today. Caroline, right. So what kind of patient would go to hemodialysis? You're correct. So a patient that has acute or chronic renal failure. So hemodialysis, anyone know what hemodialysis actually entails? Let me look for someone else who hasn't spoken today. Okay, yes, you. Right, so hemodialysis, that includes the process of cleansing the patient's blood. So it involves the diffusion of dissolved particles from one fluid compartment into another across a semi-permeable membrane. So let's simplify that. What does that mean? You need two things, the vascular access and a hemodialyzer, which is, this machine right here. So it's going to cleanse the blood. It's going to remove the waste products from the blood that the kidneys can no longer keep up with and remove itself. So it needs a little help. It's going to remove urea, creatinine, and uric acid from the blood. It also removes excess body fluids, and it helps correct electrolyte levels in the body. So some of the symptoms that you'll want to look out for during the hemodialysis process are muscle cramping. You'll also want to watch out for hypotension. A patient's temperature may go up from the hemodialysis, and that's just because of the warm blood that's being filtered through the machine back into the patient's body. Intervention. So during hemodialysis, you're going to want to make sure that you're monitoring the patient's vital signs before, during, and after. And again, you might have a little spike in temperature. You're going to want to monitor the lab values before, during, and after. You're going to want to assess the client for fluid overload. You'll want to weigh the client before and after dialysis. Don't forget to assess the patency of the blood device before, during, and after. You'll want to monitor for bleeding. Like we spoke about just a second ago, monitor for hypovolemia. And you'll want to provide adequate nutrition because the patient will be able to eat during dialysis. When children are at hemodialysis, it can be a little bit of a disadvantage because they're going to be missing school. Remember, they're going to be there, 3 times a week, 4 to 6 hours each time. So they also, because it is so long, they also may get bored. So, bring that over to the side and let's take that piece of information and know that kids, pediatrics, 4 to 6 hours, 3 times a week. That's a lot. That's a lot of boredom for a kid sitting there during this treatment. So make sure that the kid has activities, coloring books, maybe some Play-Doh to keep them occupied. All right, that's a little bit on hemodialysis. I like to keep my videos short and sweet so you can move to the next one, and it's super convenient when the videos are short. So I hope you appreciate that.